Welcome to the Common Man Football Show. My name is James Coburn, and today's episode we have a list of requests from AJL, I believe. He says Cam Newton, question mark. So I assume he's requested Cam Newton analytics video, and yeah, we can do a Cam Newton analytics video. Pretty much the same format as I've done most of my other videos in terms of analytics. We're going to look at what they did in high school, what they did in college in terms of indicators for pro success, and also look at what they're actually doing in the NFL. What are some positives? What are some negatives? What are some things they should improve upon? All based on data, all based on analytics. And if you're new to the show and you don't understand some of the terms that I'm talking about, just go to the description. Pretty much everything I'm going to be discussing today that I think is unique to some people will be in the description in terms of the methodology and what that term means in context and all that kind of stuff. So with all that stuff out of the way, let's get to Cam Newton in terms of his data profile. So starting with him out of high school and college production. Cam Newton out of high school had an 84.62 high school production score, which based on my data since the 2007 NFL draft class, hit at least the Pro Bowl quarterback threshold when it comes to high school production. 100% of multiple Pro Bowl quarterbacks since the 2007 NFL draft class had at least an 84 or higher when it comes to their high school production. And Cam Newton is one of the guys who made that threshold because he, of course, has been to at least 3 Pro Bowls in his career up to this point. So he kind of helps to reinforce this rule, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. And then when you get to his college production or his FBS production, his best FBS production year, of course, was at Auburn, where he had a 93.05 FBS production score, which hits at least the minimum threshold for the majority of Pro Bowl quarterbacks since the 1958 NFL draft class. Again, the only guys who did not hit at least 80 and went on to become multiple Pro Bowlers since 1958 were Matt Hasselbeck, Brett Favre, Michael Vick, and Drew Bledsoe. And I still haven't had the time to do a video on those guys yet, but I will eventually down the road. Just to kind of explain why they may not actually be outliers as much as just kind of getting lucky in terms of getting into the Pro Bowl, at least with some of them. But when it comes to Cam Newton, I mean, coming out of college, he pretty much fit the profile of a multiple Pro Bowl quarterback. Pretty much anything that like he hits every single threshold, if you will, in terms of his high school production, in terms of his college production, and he has gone on to become a multiple Pro Bowl quarterback. But what does it say about his NFL career? So now let's transition to his NFL data. And when you look at Cam Newton's NFL data, he has some weaknesses. When you look at the basics with him, so when you look at his touchdown to interception ratio, his completion percentage, his yards per attempt, adjusted yards per attempt, and quarterback rating, I call these the basics because these are the typical quarterback statistics that most people are familiar with. And when you look at what his touchdown interception ratio, completion percentage, and all his other basic data is compared to his peers in the NFL over a 10-year span, he does not do that well in completion percentage, and in the years where he was just not very good overall, which there were some reasons for it. I mean, 2016 he was injured and had lots of stuff, but he's also had yards per attempt and adjusted yards per attempt kind of issue seasons. And his quarterback rating has really never been that great until 2015. That was the one year that was kind of the highlight when it comes to his quarterback rating. So for the most part, his quarterback data has not been the most consistent in his career. That's the biggest sort of thing that jumps to the line, especially when it comes to overall completion percentage. So that is one of the big sort of issues with Newton, is his completion percentage in terms of like negatives from a data perspective on kind of a micro level. When you go to the micro side of things, so we're going from macro to micro, and you look at his completion percentage, the areas where he has issues in terms of his completion percentage is second down and third down. Second down completion percentage has been probably one of his biggest weak points in terms of his entire career. For the most part, from 2012 to 2014 to 2016, he did not have a very good second down completion percentage. and third down completion percentage has been inconsistent to say the least. So the trends with Newton in terms of the issues that he's had has been in terms of his completion percentage, and a lot of it is come down to second down completion percentage and third down completion percentage in certain seasons. That's where he's had some issues in terms of his completion percentage. And then, of course, you can kind of look at the rest of his completion percentage information, over here in terms of the other splits in the data and stuff like that. Then when we get to his passer first down conversion rate. So this is basically first down conversion rate in all these particular downs. So first down, second down, third down, and fourth down. So a quarterback's ability to convert to make a first down on a first down, or make a first down on a second down, or make a first down on a third down, so on and so forth. And Cam Newton has been, like, the best aspect of Cam Newton over his entire career has been his ability to create first downs on first downs. If you just look at the data, he's pretty much been 80 percentile to 90 percentile plus when it comes to his ability to create first downs on first downs. Second down, again, is where he's been kind of inconsistent throughout his career. Was fantastic in 2015, of course, when the Panthers inevitably went to the Super Bowl. But throughout most of his career, he's been only about average to below average, to maybe a little bit above average when it comes to being able to create a first down on second down with the pass. And third down has not been that bad either. He's had some pretty high years when it comes to third down conversion rate. 2013, 2014 were some of those years. 2015 was actually kind of average when it came down to third down conversion rate. And then, of course, last year, when he was injured, he was just kind of below average across the board in terms of second down and third down conversion rate. So for the most part, Cam Newton has some positives. I think people that say that he's not a great passer, he's this or that, I would say he's an inconsistent passer in the NFL because he does do some things exceptionally well, but he also has areas that he should improve in terms of second down and third down. I think are the areas where I think he should improve, or he should work to improve in these particular areas, because it's clear that he's the type of guy that likes to go for the big play, and possibly his completion percentage kind of suffers because of that. Because when you're always trying to get the big play and you're not always trying to go for that check down, and going for some of the easier completion plays and just trying to get big plays down the football field, this can happen. So this might be a sign of just his mentality as a passer, that he wants to push the ball deep, he wants to get those big plays, he wants to go for the big thing, versus settling for some of the little things. And as a result, his conversion rate on second down, his conversion rate on third down have kind of suffered a bit in many different seasons when it comes to that. So, and then of course this is the rest of his first down, second down, third down. The rest of the splits, if you will, is right here in terms of how he's performed, and also how quarterbacks who typically win 90 or higher wins, 80 or higher wins, or above average wins typically perform when it comes to these statistics. So, there's no doubt in my mind that Cam Newton is a successful quarterback. He's gone to multiple Pro Bowls. Coming out of high school and college, he had indicators indicative of a Pro Bowl quarterback. But I think if he wants to take that next step as a passer, as a quarterback, in terms of getting into that upper echelon of quarterback, elite type guys, I think if he can just focus in on improving his second down conversion rate, improving his third down conversion rate, and getting those more consistent, I think that'll be the key for Cam Newton in the future, if you will, is if he becomes a much more efficient passer, which I hope he does, because the one thing that the Carolina Panthers did this year is they gave him some more weapons. They also gave him some offensive line help, and I think that will help him out tremendously. Getting a guy like Curtis Samuel, getting a guy like Christian McCaffrey, I think is going to give him options and force him to go for some of those easier completion plays so that he can up his completion percentage, up his conversion rate, and as a result probably even have one of his best seasons this year. I mean, that's what I hope anyways. So that's Cam Newton in terms of all of his data, in terms of his data profile and everything else like that. Of course, I'm James Coburn. You can find my work at draftcoburn.wordpress.com. You can also follow me on Twitter at Geometrics. And if you like this content and you want more content like this, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. Share this video as well with anybody that you know, and I'll talk to you guys in the next video. Peace.